Everyone knows the I Have a Dream speech. It wasn't probably titled that, but that's what we've always called it. Everyone knew how important it was to be involved in some way, shape, or form on the March on Washington. It was at the height of the Civil Rights Movement. We were learning about it in school. I still had family coming from the South, moving to the North. It was a heightened time of awareness for all of us, those of us who were in any way involved with our communities, even in our churches. We talked about freedom. We talked about change. And so I remember it very, very vividly. My family has always been very involved socially and politically. And so I listened to my grandmother and my mother and my neighbors talk about the march. I remember as a little girl, my mother got involved in a boycott of Siltest milk. Siltest milk was one of the biggest milk companies in Ohio at the time, and it was in Cleveland. And they did not hire black people. And so they picketed Siltest milk, and I can remember myself walking on that picking line with my mother. I don't know that we ever felt that we had a choice. That's what we were always taught. I don't know that you really even make a decision to give back. I think it's just something that you do. It's a part of who you are. It wasn't something that you thought about doing. It's just who you are. You grow up being that. It's not a choice. It's an obligation. It's a responsibility. There are so many issues today that are so similar to issues 50 years ago. And so even though we've come a long way, it's only been certain ones of us who have come a long way. We got to bring everybody with us. And so that's the battle we still fight. What we have to do, number one, is sit down with young people and make sure that they even understand our history, which many of them do not. And make them understand that even though they don't believe it affects them, it does. And how the more things change, the more they stay the same. And so they have to start to put on their own armor and find a way to talk to their friends, their schoolmates, all of their contemporaries, because that's what we did. Even though we learned from our parents and our grandparents, we found a way to make a difference ourselves. And so young people have to start to commit themselves to things that are bigger than them. We live in a very me generation. They talk about millennials all the time. They talk about how everything about young people today seems to be me first. We have to explain to young people why that is not how we live as a people, that is not how we grow as a people, that is not how we progress as a people. And I think that there are enough young people out there today. I work with them every day on Capitol Hill. I work with bright young people who want to make a difference. If we can find a way to challenge those energies, then I think we're fine, because I see them in the halls every day. We just have to pull them together and give them the kind of tutelage and empower them to do something themselves to make a difference. There's no question about the fact that we have a lot to aim for. Today, we are working on trying to make sure that the Voting Rights Act will allow the people we represent to vote uninhibited, unabridged, to make sure that they are not afraid to go out and speak their mind, because that is the way they speak. We're still fighting the battle about feeding hungry people. We're still fighting the battle of educating young people. Now we're fighting immigration. We're fighting about jobs for our communities. We're talking about trying to save communities where people are homeless, where people have no hope. Things change, but they really don't. We still have a lot of work to do. Just keep looking at what is happening. We have fallen asleep at the wheel. And if we don't start to get ourselves back together and start to fight, then we are going to be looking at ourselves 10 years from now and say, what happened? We're back where we started. And if someone doesn't wake up and start to fight with us, me, members of the Black Caucus, all of us, and we can't do it by ourselves. And so we need for the people that we represent to stand up, and even if they can't fight, give us the strength to fight for them.